Hi, welcome. This video is on graphing quadratic equations from standard form, and this is the first of three parts where I will be explaining how to do this. So the first thing it asks is the direction of opening, and I'm going to just quick color code these because I think it helps to see. There's my A is -2, my B is +4, and my C is a +6. So just let me write this in here. There's A and then B. And so A is -2, B is a +4, and C is a +6. And because A is positive, when A is positive, because A is negative, it's -2. When A is negative, this opens down. A is negative. So when A is negative, this thing opens down. My y-intercept is the easiest thing to get from standard form. The y-intercept happens when because it's where it crosses the y-axis, and everywhere along there, the x-coordinate of those points along the y-axis, x is 0. And so if I just put x equals 0 here and here, wherever there's a 0, those terms just go away. And you're left with f of x, or y, equals 6. And so 0 for x and y equals 6. And so I'm going to go over here and graph, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to 6, and that's my y-intercept where this crosses the y-axis. For the x-intercepts, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. So first I'm going to use my discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. That's b squared minus 4 times a times c. And my b is right here, and my a is right there, and my c is right there. And so let's see here. Yeah, my B. Yeah, B. And so then I'm going to just plug those values in. B is 4. My A is -2. And my C is 6. And then I can just plug that in my calculator. And when I do that, I've got 4 squared minus 4 times my A and my C. I get 64. And so this is all equal to 64. And then I'm just going to plug in the whole, like, this is the quadratic formula up here. So I'm just going to plug in those values. Right, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of the discriminant b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. And b is 4. The discriminant is 64. And a, again, is -2. So the square root of 64 is exactly 8. So what I've got then here is -4 plus or minus 8 all over 2 times -2, or -4. And so I'm going to have two values here. The first one would be -4 plus 8 over -4. And -4 plus 8 is 4 over -4, which is -1. So one of my x-intercepts is at -1, 0. And the other value is -4 minus 8 all over -4. And that would give me -12 over -4. And that would give me a +3. So the other one is at 3, comma 0. I'm going to graph those 2 points, -1, 0, and 3, 0. And then, your vertex happens right in between those two. And you can get this in a couple different ways. I can take -1 and 3 and just add them, an average. So I've got -1 plus 3 divide by 2. -1 plus 3 is 2, divide by 2 is 1. And so my axis of symmetry is this point, x equals 1. But I can also just look at this and say, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Half of that is 2, so I can go 1, 2 from the one side, or 1, 2 from the other side, and either way, it would give me that x equals 1. So my axis of symmetry is this point right here. Is that line right there, and everything is symmetrical about that point. So then to get the vertex, I'm just going to take that value and plug it back in to my equation. So what is f of 1? And that would be -2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 6. And then I can just plug that into my calculator. -2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 4 times 1, and then plus 6. And that gives me 8. So y equals 8. When x equals 1, y equals 8. So my vertex is the point 1, 8. I go over here 1, I go up. There's 5, there's 6, 7, 8. And there's my vertex. And then because of the axis of symmetry, I can go over 1 point away here. I got that point. And the axis of symmetry, again, is x equals 1. And then I can go up here and graph that. Goes up there, a little curvy on the top. Come down. And then it's going to come down in this direction. Something more like that. If you want to find additional points, I would suggest you take something just really close, like maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe x equals 4, and find out where it is along here. Should be somewhere pretty close to -5, maybe -6. And you can find additional points that way, but this is good for at least a sketch.